show introduced me to the book, so I was wondering how many of you guys ran home after the filming of season 1 to find out what happened, or how familiar you guys were with the source material?
I know what happened.
I was shocked. Shocked.
Yeah, well, after my first audition, I got the first book and devoured it in not too long a time, and then was obsessed with it and was ready to move on to book 2, but I wanted to be with Danny as we were filming season 1. So I was very much like, I mean, seriously, my copy of the first book is like taut. It's got all my notes in. It's, you know, like kind of, it was my Bible for a really long time. And then my celebration of wrapping season 1 was starting book 2. So I'm kind of going to go like, as I'm really, all I want to do is just read ahead, but I'm trying to pace myself so I know where I'm up to. Yeah.
When I read the first book, I had locked myself up for like 4 days. I actually read it, was blown away, and like right when it came to me dying, it's like so in love with Drogo, I started panicking. When I flipped through, I'm like, no way. And then went to Barnes and Noble and picked up the book and I'm reading it, and I was just
Bring him back? Okay, I'll take that in 5 minutes. Who knows? He may have a twin brother somewhere. All right, we have another question?
It's actually related to something you just said. Well, Mr. Martin, why is it you're always killing off people's favorite characters?
Well, it keeps you on your toes. No, you know, I've always believed that I want people emotionally involved in my story. And when they're in a dangerous situation, just as you'd be in life if you were in a dangerous situation, I want the readers to be almost afraid to turn the page, not knowing who's going to win, who's going to die. I mean, we all know books and movies where, you know, the hero may seem to be in deep trouble, but you know he's going to get out of it because, after all, he's the hero, or they are the heroes if there's a group. And those shows are fun, but they don't really involve your emotions. That's what I'm looking for.
Hi, this question is for Lena. Hi. Dang, I'm nervous. I say this every time. So for Cersei, how do you play all the different sides of her? The manipulative side, the side that loves her children no matter what, and how damn heavy were those wigs?
That's what I love about her is, and I know I've been criticised for giving her some humanity, but I think everyone deserves a chance. And I just think she's a confused woman who thought life was going to be something very different, and she just tries to cope with what is and hold on. And the wigs, part of the game.
First off, I have to say, Jon Snow, you know nothing. And secondly, whether you've read the books or not, I just want to know, all of you, except for you, George, sorry, how would you end the series if you could do it? Like, what would you do?
Jon Snow to be on the throne, definitely. Yeah, but I mean, it's, you know, that's the brilliant thing, is it's so up in the air. Who knows going to be sitting there, and you know, and he'll be dead and he'll be alive. And, I can't can't even imagine. I know what I want, but I think like in the books, probably everyone here wants the same thing. They want to be sat there. But yeah, who knows?
It's the end of the movie. There's been a big battle. It goes to dark. It's black for 10 seconds. And it comes up, there's a scientist 20 years later. It's a small cottage. Jaime and Cersei come sitting there next to each other. Finally, my love. And the music.
Bring Khal Drogo back for sure and have him and Tyrion co-rule. So I think things will get interesting.
Dance number.
The new book is called The Dance with Dragons. All right, do we have another one?
Hello. I have a question for Jason, and I just want to say first that you're my sun and stars. How hard was it for you to do the fight scenes with that long hair?
You know, it was pretty easy. And maybe it's because I'm used to long hair. And I used to have to wear a dread wig on Stargate Atlantis, which was like 6 pounds. So that was just like a little rat tail. It wasn't very hard at all. Thank you, Moon of my life. What is on your shirt?
That is awesome.
I think everyone should have one of these because I have hope that you'll come back. For me, the moment that I was hooked was when Jaime pushed Bran. I was like, they're not playing around. So I was wondering for you guys, either reading the script or the book, what was the moment that hooked you in the show?
No, I had the same experience. I got to that moment and thought, what the hell? But it was such a great, it's horrible. It's dramatic, it's just perfect. I think it sounds weird, but you know, suddenly you're in that dark place. You know that all bets are off. And that's brilliant.
I think mine was I think it was the scene that I've read somewhere that you George that you wrote first. I think it was the bit with it was right at the start, you know, after the
discovery of the
yeah, where they discovered the thing. It was pretty soon in. I just loved that scene. Was my favourite. I think that's the bit that got me hooked.
The very beginning of the show, the White Walkers, all that stuff. I thought that was suddenly this cold landscape. Yeah. And then I lost interest when I came on. My scene was over, and then I was interested again. Yeah, but I love the White Walker stuff, all that sort of supernatural element that sort of is on the periphery. I like that stuff.
We'll go back to the questions in a moment here, but before we run out of time, Dan and David, what can these guys expect for the second season? I know that a lot of them are eager to hear what the plans are.
Everyone dies. Sorry.
It was all a dream.
I would say for the readers, they
much of what to expect. I'd say it starts to get a little bit, if we're lucky enough, if we have a season 3, that's when it won't start corresponding so neatly to the books, because Storm of Swords is just too big to do as one season. So we don't know yet whether it be 1.5 seasons, whether it be, maybe it's 3 seasons, or Storm of Swords, Clash of Kings. We don't know yet exactly. For second season, we've got a bunch of great new characters coming in, and we've already got such an incredible cast, but, it's time to meet the Red Priestess, and it's time to meet and it's time to see those dragons and wolves start to move on. And there's bad stuff lurking north of the wall, and it's a season of exploration, I think. So, all leading up to, our hope has always been, from the very beginning, I remember talking about this with you, George, that we can keep this alive somehow. We can get to, there's a certain scene in Storm of Swords. I'm not even going to say the name of the scene because the name itself is a spoiler, so don't actually yell it out. But you all know, if you've read the books, what scene I'm talking about. Let's call it RW. And we've always felt like, if we can get to RW, we've accomplished something, And so it was terrifying. We pitched the show, we didn't know if it would go. We made the pilot, we didn't know if it would go. We made the first season, didn't know. Now we seem like we're set up pretty well. I think we're going to get to RW, and if that happens, then I can retire to my asylum.
Let's go back to the audience for the next question.
Hi. This question is actually from my friend Steve, who's a huge, huge fan of both the books and the show, but he couldn't be here today. So he would like to know, for season 2, are you going to be able to film the Battle of Blackwater the way it was written?
George is writing it, so I certainly hope so.
We're going to pass my hat around to get some contributions. If any of you have an extra nickel or something, who knows, they pay for a little special place. Actually, the guys from, when I was signing earlier, the guys from Weta came up to me and said they were huge fans of the series and all that. And I asked them if they would like to donate several $1 million worth of speak-free special effects. For some reason, they declined.
We're having a battle.
There will be a battle.
Hello. As a fan of good writing, I know that the writer can't always do what's going to make the audience happy, whether it's on paper or on screen. So for you, Mr. Martin, when you wrap stuff up, being also a fan of people like Damon Lindelof, are you still concerned about, to put it in your words, pulling a Lost?
Well, I believe Damon is in the room, so I better be careful what I say. Yes, I am concerned about the ending. I still have 2 more books to go, and I'm juggling a lot of balls, and of course there is the deep fear that eventually some of them are going to fall on my head and knock me unconscious or kill me. But all I can keep doing is juggling as fast as I can, and hopefully bring everything together in the magnificent way I see it vaguely in my head as stretching before me. It's easier to dream these things than to do them, but yeah, I certainly hope that the ending will tie together, and in terms of making people happy, well, hopefully it will make some people happy. It will make people happy with the book. Although I've always been a fan of the bittersweet ending, and I've said before in interviews that's what to expect. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings, and I love the scouring of the Shire. The fact that it was not a, hobbits dancing happily in the woods, the witch is dead kind of thing. That there was a cost to the war, and there was a human cost, and there's triumph, yes, but there's also tragedy mixed in the triumph. And I think Tolkien did it brilliantly. I hope I can do something half as good.
So my question is for Jason. I wanted to know what it was like transitioning from a sci-fi show to a fantasy show. Was the filming similar special effects things, or was it vastly different?
Yeah, it's vastly different. Let's be honest here. Sci-fi and HBO are over here, each goes over here. This is basically a 10-hour movie, and it was absolutely one of the greatest accomplishments, and I've never been a part of anything remotely close to this. I've never worked with so many great actors. I normally don't even like my producers, let alone the writers. And I just like worship everyone. I mean, you can show up to set and just watch. I mean, I love who I worked with on Stargate, but like literally, I mean, there's the two Americans, you know what I mean? Yeah, Ron Hawley's fantastic. As far as sci-fi and fantasy, I love that genre. It's just that there's so many things you can do, like rip someone's tongue out of their throat and get away with it, and rape beautiful women. You know, sci-fi. You know what I mean? Next question.
This one's for Emilia Clarke. You play my favorite character, Daenerys Targaryen, and I want to know how you can portray such a strong but realistic and feeling woman. Because to me, I find you one of the most identifiable characters, and the way you portray it is phenomenal. So, do you have any pointers or tips or anything?
Oh my goodness! First of all, thank you so much. That's amazing to hear. How do I? Okay, so when I read the books, Dani she just seemed I don't know, very real to me. Like I understood everything that she was going through and kind of her mentality and everything. So I just so the tips I would give you is just like be true to yourself. I don't know. I'm feeling all embarrassed now. I just got her. So I would just say kind of, it's women. We're strong. We're good. We're powerful. We're sexy. We're like own it. Do you know what I mean? Like it was her instinct to be able to survive. I think that was fundamentally the thing that I got and kind of hopefully portrayed. But yeah, just be true to yourself.
Lena, I just want to say that you were great on White Collar this week. I love that episode. I hope you're going to come back. But my question's for Kit. I think Jon Snow is obviously fan favorite character. So I want to know what really drew you to the character, and what are you looking forward to the most in the upcoming seasons? Because he has quite a big journey ahead of him.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I suppose what I'm looking forward to is I try not to go produce spoilers. I've already done that today. I think he's got, like you say, he's got a big journey ahead of him, and he goes beyond the wall. And I think I'm looking forward to the fact that in the first season he spends a lot of this time concerned with his family down in the south. And at the end of season 1, obviously, he forsakes them, so he can actually get on with a bit of his own agenda, if you like. So I'm looking forward to that. And what drew me to the character is he's just, I mean, why wouldn't it? He's a badass with a sword. He's he's a mysterious little guy with a bit of a kind of mystery behind him. I kind of loved him the minute I saw him on paper. And thank you again. Thank you.
First of all, thank you all for such an amazing show. Just everybody, like, amazing. My question is also
No, is the simple answer. I'd love to know, as I'm sure a lot of people would, but no, I have no idea. I haven't got a clue, so I'm sorry I can't fill you in there.
And if he did know
Your last question.
Last question.
Hi, my question's for Mr. Martin. Just wondering, there's two themes that we really don't see in the books, and that's good guys always win and the hero never dies. Just wondering, did you set out to kind of break those cliches, and if there's a character that you mourn as you kill them?
And what was the last part?
If there's a particular character that you've mourned as you've killed them.
Actually, I mourn all the characters as I kill them. You know, when I write, particularly the viewpoint characters, I really have to kind of climb inside their skin to make them human, and so I'm writing about someone I'm very closely identified with. In some cases, for many years, I began writing these books in 1991. So, you know, I've lived with some of these characters for 20 years, which makes it very hard when I do have to kill them. But I tell myself it's not me killing them, it's the other characters. I try to distance myself, but you know, the scene that Dave and Dan were referring to in the third book, which I won't spoil, was the hardest scene I ever wrote. I mean, that occurs 2/3 of the way through A Storm of Swords, and it was the last thing written. I had to skip over that and write the rest of the book, and then only when everything else was done, came back and make myself write that scene, because it was very emotionally wrenching and painful for me to write, as it was hopefully for all of you to read. And I can't imagine, I think when they film it and show it, I'm going to try to arrange to be out of the country during that period in some place that doesn't actually have television yet. Anyway, that was the last question, so we are unfortunately out of time. I know we